There are 7 common questions that you may be having when you are considering placing a child for adoption. We're going to talk about that today on All About Adoption. If we haven't had the opportunity to meet, my name is Stephanie A., and I'm the founder and executive director here at Adoption and Beyond. We're a licensed child placing agency located in the Kansas City area. So let's dive into some of your questions that you might have. You may be wondering, can you choose the family for your child? And that is a resounding yes, you can. In fact, we recommend that you work with a licensed child placing agency where you will have a wide selection of adopting families that are available so you can find the perfect one that matches exactly what you are looking for your child. You may be wondering how much contact you'll be able to have with your child after birth and after placement as well. After birth, you can have as much time as you want with your child while you're in the hospital. You can choose to have all that time to yourself, or you can choose to share that with the adopting family. It's whatever you feel is best for you. After placement, you can have what's called an open adoption, where there is continued communication with the adopting family and also your child as well as they grow. Some moms wonder how soon after birth that the baby can go with the adopting family, and usually that is straight home from the hospital. It's common in a lot of states that the baby can go home with the adopting family. That's not true in all states, but it is true in a lot of different states. You may be wondering, how much will the child get to know about you? So regardless of whether you have an open adoption or not, you'll be completing what's called social and medical history information. So if for some reason that you choose not to have an open adoption with your child, that social and medical information will give your child a lot of information about you as the birth parents. But commonly, most birth parents choose to have an open adoption, so therefore the child gets to know them quite well. Another common question is, do the birth fathers have any rights? And the answer is both you and the birth father have certain rights. Now, what those look like for the birth father vastly differ from state to state. So it's important when you're meeting with your adoption attorney that you get those answers to those questions about what the birth father rights may be and how that might impact your adoption process. You may be wondering, how well do you know whether your child is going to be cared for? So just know, when you're working with a licensed child placing agency, that families have to go through a pretty rigorous process to even be approved to adopt. And part of that rigorous process is doing what's called an adoptive home study, where they have to give us all kinds of information about themselves, their family, their background, their financials, their medicals. Then also background checks are ran on them as well, and references are gathered, and a home visit is done as well. So families have to go through a lot of hoops to be able to be approved to adopt. So you can rest assured that they have gone through those steps, especially when you're working with the child placing agency. You may be wondering, do I need an attorney? And while there are some states that you can do your entire adoption process through the child placing agency, I recommend, as the director of a child placing agency, that you still have your own legal representation separate from the agency, just to make sure that you know what all your rights are, and that is provided to you free of charge. So just know that that's available to you if you want to have your own representation, and we recommend highly that you do. I hope you have found the answers to common questions that expecting parents have about the adoption process helpful. And just know that if you're experiencing an unplanned pregnancy, you're not alone. And as a child placing agency, we're here to help you in any way that we can. Thanks so much. Bye.